Welcome back, ladies. Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal moments in your healing journey. And that is what happens when you finally see the narcissist for who they really are. Because whether you recognize it or not, your healing journey can begin long before you actually leave the toxic relationship. So if you have been in a narcissistic relationship, whether it's romantic or family or workplace, you know that the moment you start seeing through their lies, maybe questioning their behavior or demanding accountability, the dynamic shifts dramatically. So in today's video, we're going to cover what is supply and why you are no longer a good source of it. We're going to talk also about the intense backlash when you stop feeding their ego. We're going to talk about how they react when their mask is finally exposed, which can look like discarding, smear campaigns, rage, and of course, manipulation. And then most importantly, how to protect yourself when they try to pull you back in, hoovering. So this video is for those of you who are beginning to see your own reality for what it really is. Your eyes are beginning to open up to who this person really is. You're beginning to have some kind of radical acceptance about your situation. And my hope is for you to be able to kind of prepare yourself for the storm that comes after you begin to take your power back. So let's get started. First off, what is narcissistic supply? Narcissistic supply is the fuel that keeps them going. It's what makes them feel powerful and important and in control. And this supply can look like many different things. It comes in many different forms. Your admiration, your love, your attention towards them. It can be your emotional reactions, whether it's positive or negative. It's your fear of upsetting them and you walking on eggshells, and your willingness to kind of let things slide in an attempt to keep the peace. These are all ways that a narcissist creates supply for themselves. And so as long as you're providing those things, they thrive. But the second you stop reacting or questioning their behavior or demand respect or expose their lies, this is when you become a threat. See, you are no longer playing their game, and that means that they have two choices: to either get you back under control or to get rid of you. And that is when the real chaos begins. So let me set the scene for you. You have been with your partner for maybe weeks, months, maybe even years. Something has felt off, but you haven't quite been able to pinpoint exactly what it is. You begin to start educating yourself. Maybe you start reading, listening, writing, and documenting incidences. And you begin to realize that the person that you fell in love with is not at all the person you thought. And so what do? You begin to ask more questions. You begin to demand more respect. Maybe you stop reacting to their bullshit the way you normally do. Or maybe you even begin to expose all of their lies. Okay, so now this is when the backlash begins from the narcissist. Imagine a drug addict being cut off from their supply of whatever substance they are addicted to. Well, that's how a narcissist reacts when they lose control over you. You are their supply. They begin to get withdrawals. And depending on how you react or maybe don't react to their withdrawals, you may head straight into the sudden discard phase. They might abruptly leave you as if the relationship never mattered to them. They might rush into a new supply, someone that will validate them and give them all the things that you are beginning to take away from them. They'll flaunt that new supply, posting it on social media, making sure you hear about it. They'll rewrite history, telling everyone that you were the problem. So why do they do this? They do this because they want you to feel replaceable. They need to be seen as the one in control, not as the person who was exposed. But the discard is never really final because the next phase is coming. And again, depending on how you react, you likely will be heading into a narcissistic rage. So this is when they realize that their usual tactics aren't working and you're actually slipping away. And that's when their rage kicks in. This is when things can get really dangerous. And so what does a rage look like? I've experienced all of it. Explosive anger, screaming, insults, verbal abuse, physical intimidation, breaking things, blocking doors, physical violence, smear campaigns, telling everyone that you're crazy, you're the abusive one, you're cheating, harassment, stalking, repeated phone calls, showing up uninvited, sending flying monkeys to spy on you. These are all things that where a narcissist is showing their true colors. And this is happening because their false self is being shattered. You are shattering who they are trying to be. And they can't handle that level of exposure. And they'll do just about anything to destroy you before you expose them. If this sounds familiar or you are currently in this phase, please make sure you prioritize your safety. Block them, get support. If needed, seek legal protection. This is one of the most dangerous times in the cycle. A narcissist will likely not stay in this rage part of the cycle forever, though. Once their rage doesn't work, a narcissist will maybe kind of switch gears and try to pull you back in using all the classic manipulation techniques. And this is why so many victims go back. It's all part of this cycle of abuse. So some of those classic manipulation tactics that I'm sure you have already been a part of is love bombing you again. Suddenly they realize how much they love you, or they have fake remorse. I'll get therapy, I'll change. I was just so scared of losing you. Or maybe the grand gestures will come out. Flowers, gifts, vacations, showing up crying, begging for another chance. Don't fall for any of it. If they really wanted to change, they would have before they lost you. This is all just another tactic. Okay, so in addition to love bombing, another tactic that they will use is to provoke you into reacting. They will say the most hurtful things just to get a rise out of you. They will bring up maybe old traumas that they know will trigger you. They will try to lure you into a fight so that they can play the victim. But here's the deal. If you react, they win. Stay calm, stay silent, walk away. So playing the victim is another manipulation tactic that likely they will use. And they'll use it because it has probably worked really well for them in the past. Suddenly, they become the wounded party. They tell everyone that it was you that abandoned them. They start acting as if they were the ones abused. Do not try to defend yourself publicly. The best response is no response. The truth will reveal itself over time. Okay, ladies, so this is the hard part. How do you respond? This is where your power lies. You must be unshakable in your boundaries. The first and most important thing to do is to hold your ground. Expect them to lash out. Expect the guilt trips, the gaslighting, the hoovering, but focus on you and stay committed to your own truth. Don't be surprised when they throw everything at you. The second thing that you can do is to be very purposeful in creating and enforcing boundaries. No contact is the best strategy. Block them, delete their number. And please know that I say that knowing how incredibly difficult that is. If you are struggling with this step, I have created another video all about no contact, and I will link it in the show notes for you below. If you can't go full no contact because you have to co-parent, using the gray rock method is extremely powerful. Be boring, be unemotional in your responses. And then the last thing that you can do is cut off all flying monkeys. Anyone who brings their drama into your life, cut out. And one of the last things that you can do is to begin to teach them how to treat you. If they cross a boundary, hold them accountable. If necessary, take legal actions, restraining orders, document the harassment. Do not negotiate. Do not explain yourself. Do not give them a way to slither their way back into your life. These are all things that they would not expect you to do because you have not followed through with these things in the past. So it's up to you to be the one to change your behavior, because we all know that you cannot be the one to change theirs. This is your time to take your power back. The more unbothered you are, the more they lose control. Survivors, you are stronger than the manipulation that's being thrown at you. The moment you see them for who they really are, you've already won. They will try to make you doubt yourself. They will rage. They will lie, manipulate. They will play the victim. But you are no longer their puppet. If this video has helped you, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone who you think might be worthwhile to hear it. And in the comments, please tell me, what was the worst backlash you faced when you held a narcissist accountable? Stay strong, stay safe, and as always, I'm rooting for you. I'll see you in the next video.